This will be my last video on the Mr. Kennedy release, because I think I've talked about it enough. But see, the reason I'm making this video is basically another response to you. I said in my last video that I could not judge you as a smart person or a dumb person because I didn't get to know your argumental skills. But after seeing the second video, now I can. And trust me, if you don't want to hear what I have to say, turn off the video. Kid, you're not that smart. I'm sorry, you really aren't. The reason why I say that is because you leave a lot of open points that could be tackled. Like that. That's the problem. You leave too many points that could be tackled like that and try to make it as if you just debunk the point easily and made yourself a higher person. Now, granted, I have that same problem, but at least I can still defend myself in my points. Your points are just so brittle that they could be broken easily. And that is why I don't want to do this anymore, because I don't want to continue debunking your points. I don't want to continue making your points seem meaningless. Now again, if that seems harsh, and if that seems like I'm talking down on you, well, too bad, because that's how I feel. And I'm saying it as respectful as I can, because there are other people on here who try to debunk my points, whether it be maturely or immaturely, and I have shunned them very badly, worse than what I'm doing to you. Alright? So this is my final video on this topic, and then I will move on to some other wrestling topics. But, let's debunk your brittle points.
Okay, first, I see that he compares me to the Amazing Atheist. That's pretty funny.
I did not compare you to the Amazing Atheist. I compared myself to the Amazing Atheist on how I was debunking your points.
I have no problem with that. Okay. Let me go into this now. I first look at the comments, and someone points out something that he said at the end of his video, that a dirt sheet confirms that Kennedy got released because of Orton. And so he thinks it means something because a dirt sheet confirmed it. Then he says, then the person really called him out on it. Then he says, what if multiple dirt sheets confirmed it? Now let me tell you something about dirt sheets, because I know a lot of them from myself. I know friends that used to work with them. I know other people that used to work with them. So, let me tell you something. They look around the internet for news, and if one spoiler site has the news, then all of them will soon have that same exact news, even if it's false.
See, I'm not debunking this point, but here's where I'm sitting here wondering, are you actually agreeing or disagreeing with Kennedy's release? Because throughout the first video and throughout this video, from what I've seen, you don't really try to defend Kennedy at all. And this is just one of those examples. I'm just trying to understand, do you defend Kennedy or not? Because if you're not defending Kennedy, then here's my suggestion to you for your future videos. Don't waste your time on this topic. Don't waste your time debunking my points. Because now you're just gone completely off the subject and not even talking about Kennedy's release. You're just talking about freaking things on what could happen if Kennedy was released, and trying to come up with good excuses, which you're doing a poor job, might I add. And with Kennedy, again, you have not stated that Kennedy should stay, or Kennedy should have been kicked out the door. Not once. So are you just wasting time? Please, answer that. Well, actually, let me take that back. Don't answer that. Because I'm not making any more videos towards this.
Alright. Let's go to his first point about Triple H. Wait. Before that, first he says Triple H took time off with his daughter, to be with his daughters and not to be involved with wrestling in the moment. I'll show you a screenshot right now at a spoiler site. Do you know what it says? During his absence from television, Triple H has been helping out he's been helping out behind the scenes at weekly Raw tapings. Now, if you believe in the spoiler sites, because this is on more than one, it's on multiple spoiler sites, then according to your logic, your whole Triple H point is flawed.
And my point is flawed. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Kid, this point made me laugh so fucking much because it just proved... Okay, see, kid, you don't get it. You don't get where the stupid mistake comes from, okay? You just don't get where the stupid mistake you just made, alright? He's on the WWE road, yes. Did you forget who his wife is? Did you forget who the mother of his children are? Did you forget that? Did you forget who the mother of his fucking children are? Because if I gotta point that out, then kid, you really need to read up on this shit. Badly.
You said Triple H can't come back and go right into the title picture because he is losing credibility by being injured and he has to work his way back up to the top. So what happened with John Cena? He returned and went right to beating Chris Jericho for the world title, and he was a main eventer again.
Now I know you've lost it. You've even lost it. You don't have a brain inside, alright? You don't get the dumb mistake that you just made, okay? First of all, when have I ever agreed with John Cena winning the world title? Never. Never once agreed with that. Now, you're probably going to go out on a limb and say, well, they did it with John Cena, why don't they do it with Triple H? You ever heard of the old saying, 2 wrongs don't make a fucking right? Alright? In that saying, that could be debunked in real life. But, right there, why make the same mistake fucking twice? Not only that, let's go to the second of all of this fucking point. Even if I was to justify John Cena winning the title over Chris Jericho, the difference is that John Cena is the most over guy in the fucking company. Triple H, on the other hand, while he might have politics, it still wouldn't make a blessed bit of sense if he just came right back and won the fucking title. And plus, he's not scheduled to come back until next month. Maybe August. Tops. So why drag him out of his vacation just so that he can fucking go back and win the world title and exhaust himself again? Let the man take some time off. Alright? Let the man freaking breathe, for crying out loud. And this is coming from your number one Triple H hater, so, or at least one of your few Triple H haters. So, take that into mind.
Yeah. So, okay. Your point with Cena and Big Show is very flawed. Where, you say that it can't involve the title in the storyline because the storyline is personal. Lots of storylines for titles have been personal. One I can name off the top of my head is Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. Jericho harmed Shawn Michaels' wife, and basically they had a personal feud on the title.
I said in an early video that I might say things that might offend you. Now this is going to offend you. Are you a fucking dumbass? Are you really a fucking dumbass? I'm dead serious. You may be a great person, I don't know, maybe, I may have talked to you, I don't know, but that was a dumbass fucking point. That was the most dumbass point that you've made so far, alright? First of all, with the World Heavyweight title, they didn't have to scrounge up somebody because some transitional guy has to come in and take over. And not only that, you had somebody to feud it with. So Chris Jericho winning the world title and then interlocking Shawn Michaels into that made fucking sense. Dropping the title on Cena and Big Show, when Big Show hasn't been qualified enough to be in the world title status, not only that, you're interacting Miz into the fucking thing, and Cena's not qualified to win it because he's been pushed down so that he can help the Big Show and fucking Miz. You can't just drop the title right there. And with the personal grudge thing, yeah, it is a personal grudge. This kind of personal grudge doesn't involve titles. doesn't need titles. Why do you need to involve a title? Not to mention the Chris Jericho-Shawn Michaels thing. The title wasn't involved until the end of a fucking feud. You don't know what you're talking about.
Now he said, why would you drop the title right in front of Cena and Big Show's laps? I never really said we're gonna do that. They could maybe have a tournament, and it would make it more interesting to see Cena and Big Show to have a match for the title with their storyline. It would make it more interesting.
Now I know you're retarded. A tournament? For what? For what? So that Batista could win it? Because they're only going to make Batista win it since he's the only legitimate guy. Batista's the only legitimate guy that can hold it, bar none, because he's chasing it. He's the one chasing it, and he's had enough credibility on his back to go ahead and chase it. John Cena's been pushed back so that he can help the Big Show and that he can help the Miz. That's the whole point. And you telling me that they gotta be in the finals, it wouldn't make any goddamn sense right now. I mean, for God's sake, they're trying to help the Miz, and you want to fucking involve the title? Not only that, you can't interlock Miz into that because he's not ready. You have to be confident and know that the Miz can be in the main event spot and still get the crowd interested. You can't just let Miz go in there and risk the chance that it's going to flop. See, now you're all about just going in there and randomly risking things. Alright? You can't do that. You've got to analyze who in the fuck is legitimate enough and who is not. And you've got to analyze whether this person's been built up enough to go into that spot. And Miz has not been built up enough. They're on that rise, but he's not there yet. You're clueless.
I could name many more matches with storylines that were personal. He also says the Miz would be left out, but you could still push Miz by making him have Big Show win and screwing Cena. Very flawed point.
No, you're the one with the flawed point because again, you can't just have Miz be in that title picture seeing as freaking Miz can't be trusted to be in there yet. You can't do that. And then where is Big Show gonna go? Face Batista? That's gonna sell a whole lot of fucking money. Batista and Big Show. A lot of people, not just regular fans, but casual fans as well, complained about Batista and Great Khali. Would this be any fucking different? Give me a fucking break.
Okay, so then he mentions Batista. He says the reason he said the question in the way he did, where you would feel like an idiot if you wanted Batista to be the outcome in his question, basically, is because he knows nobody in the YWC YouTube wrestling community wants to see Batista as champion. Okay, wrestling has millions of fans. You add up every wrestling shooter's subscriber count, and you will not get near 1 million. The YWC doesn't make a majority of the wrestling fans. The YWC aren't all the people buying the merchandise, buying the t-shirts, buying the CDs, buying the DVDs. The YWC is only a small... Sorry, I keep on pausing. My throat really hurts. But the YWC is only a small portion of the wrestling world.
Retard! Wake up! Because here is a little point that I want to make to you. You say that the YWC makes a small portion of the fucking wrestling fan base. No fucking shit! Why was I talking to the YWC? Because the YWC will actually be clicking on that little link, which is my video, and actually watch it. Casual fans will most likely not. So how in the world am I going to be talking to casual fans? I am talking to the YWC just like I have in every other video. The YWC can think like a casual fan. And quite frankly, the YWC does not like Batista. Therefore, I said it in that fashion. Do casual fans want to see Batista? Sure thing, but I made that point clear earlier that who in the hell Batista is going to face if he wins the damn title. You, sir, have flawed points that have no backup, that just leave me confused as to how you think. You may be a great person, I don't know that, but just because you're a great person does not mean you're a smart individual.
Later in your video, you talk about how you think one of my points makes your argument stronger, but I don't think that, but let me go to this where one of your points makes my argument stronger. Okay, you said Matt Hardy has only proven he can be a main eventer by main eventing on the C brand of ECW. Now, if ECW is the C brand, he was able to carry the C brand on his back and make it look credible, then he has already proven that he can be a main eventer because he had more luggage to carry on the C brand.
Does your retardedness never fucking end? I mean, does it really? Does your stupidity never end? Because if you were to say something like that, like Matt Hardy deserves to be in the main event because he was able to carry ECW on his own, could you say the same thing about Mark Henry? Could you say the same thing about Jack Swagger? Could you say the same thing about Christian? You can't put them in a main event on your A-top show where the most fans watch it when their only high fan base is on the C show, which is fucking... Okay, let me try and put it to you this way. Raw usually gets about a 3.0, 3.2 rating average, let's just say. That's around the average. ECW gets about 1.3, 1.4. Matt Hardy can only garner a 1.3, 1.4 on the show. Same thing with Mark Henry. So according to your logic, yours, this is your logic, not mine, that Mark Henry could be the WWE champion and the world champion since he was able to carry ECW on his back. You say the same thing about Jack Swagger as well. And who was champion before Matt Hardy? Oh no, it was Mark Henry. So then who was champion before? Okay, Kane. Why do you think they won't give Kane a main title, but they'll give him the fucking ECW title? Why do you think Chavo fucking Guerrero won the goddamn title, for crying out loud? Use this noggin, please, now.
Okay? You say it doesn't make sense to involve him in the title picture because he's in the storyline with Vicky and Regal, but I'm thinking, how can that not make sense? Because Vicky Guerrero's the GM, he's helping her, and what does he get in return? A title match. Just saying.
And how do you do that if the guy hasn't been built up enough, sir? I mean, flawed point once again. I mean, that's just you.
Okay, now, CM Punk. I said CM Punk could be a potential main eventer on Raw with the Money in the Bank. He says you need to have him stay to have Umaga have momentum, but really, there's nothing to worry about Umaga. Umaga's always gotten momentum by beating jobbers, so why does he need Punk?
I'm sorry, but your stupidity is just rampant. I am trying to say, I mean, throughout the video, yes, I've been clowning you like crazy, as far as calling you a dumbass, calling you stupid, calling you retarded. But now I'm wondering, are you that stupid? Because quite frankly, jobbers, yes, Umaga can get over with beating a few jobbers, but he can't just beat a few jobbers throughout his whole goddamn career to stay over. He's got to beat at least some of the roster, and he did that last month against CM Punk, and now he's going to be facing CM Punk at Extreme Rules so that he can have a decent match there. Whether he wins or loses, if he loses, at least CM Punk's momentum is still staying, it's still going, and Umaga's momentum is rising. When someone gets injured, and they are injured for a period of time, their momentum goes down. So when they come back, they have to garner a few wins. Which, go back to my original point about Triple H coming back, he would have to garner a few wins so that his momentum could go up. Cena, you try to make that point about Cena when he's the most over-fucking guy in the company, and plus I never agreed with Cena winning the world title. The only reason I would ever want to see Cena win the world title is just to see bitches complain about it. So quite frankly, that's another flawed point. CM Punk is helping Umaga, and he's helping himself. So why is that a bad thing? Why do you gotta pull CM Punk out of that and now have to feed Umaga a couple of jobbers? I mean, come on. Now you're just pulling things. Now you're just changing things. I mean, you can't just change things like automatically. Alright? I mean, that's the one problem about WWE right now. And you're just supporting the decision of them just freaking going one set to another without any explanation whatsoever. I mean, you don't get it. You just don't fucking get it, do you?
This is the part where he says his point is even more justified. I said that the Kennedy thing where he got released for hurting Orton is a rumor for right now. We don't know it. Okay, so how does this make your point more justified? What if he went to Vince and said, I'm burnt out and I want to be released from my contract, and Vince agreed to it? He agreed to let him go.
Okay, you're a fucking moron. You really are. Maybe a good person, but a fucking moron. I mean, did you not see the video of Kennedy shaking his wrist? Did you not see that? Did you not see that video? Because that video was directed towards WWE lying that fucking Kennedy hurt his hands. That was virtually directed towards Vince McMahon. And his freaking bitterness towards Vince McMahon for releasing him. So obviously, it's not, oh, they left on good terms. Not only that, why would he just up and out like that? And not only that, if he's so rusty, why did he come back in the fucking first place? I mean, many people thought it was kind of weird that he would come back one week and then be fired the next. I mean, come on, your logic is so fucking off.
Okay, one of his last points is that Kennedy might not have trained his whole body, and that is why he kept on getting injured. And again, you don't know this. He could have weightlifted too much and hurt himself. I don't think people care that much that you talk to Crazy Mike. I know he's a strong dude because I've seen his videos before. But, there's the other side of the argument the other side that could be presented in that argument. And I will not comment on, your other theory of Kennedy getting hurt after he stopped the roids, because again, we don't know if this is the reason why he got hurt.
Would you please stop with this, if we don't know, if we don't know, if we don't know. These are called fucking assumptions, okay? Yes, they are assumptions, they're not usually fact, but at least with the assumptions, you can think, oh, this could be a logical thing, therefore, this is the reason why it's happening. And this is the reason why that happened. Alright? It's not just a rumor or a theory, it's actually a scientific fact that if you don't train all of your body parts, now that I think about it, now that I was looking this up, it's an actual fact that I can work on my whole body and leave out a limb. And that can get injured very easily because I didn't work out on it, and nor did I train on it. Alright? That's a scientific fact for you. As far as the steroids, no. There is no, we don't know. We don't know. It was a fact that after the Chris Benoit tragedy, they tracked down a couple of wrestlers for steroids. A couple of them that were caught were Charlie Haas, John Morrison, Umaga, Kennedy being one of them, William Regal, Chavo Guerrero, who else? I'm probably missing a couple names here. Well, those are at least 6 names that I gave to you. There's probably more, but those are the names. Now, take 2 of those names into mind, Umaga and Kennedy. Think about how many times they got injured after the steroid use, and then come back to me, and I dare you to go in front of your camera or on your mic and tell me we still don't know. Because quite frankly, that kind of assumption is justified.
So you tried to debunk me, but nothing really debunked me. In fact, some of your points made my argument stronger.
I don't know whether to laugh now or call you the moron of the year. I really don't.
But he makes his last point on his friend, or someone else, that says, that said you can have Ted DiBiase win a tournament and become an instant main eventer. Now, I do agree with you that doesn't work, but you said it you were saying that it never works. It could work some of the time. I could name one example where, William Regal, he won the GM Battle Royal. He was not over at the time, and he became over after winning being the GM. He became over as a mega heel.
You're a fucking retard. Now I hate you. Now I really hate you. Now I don't care if you're a nice person. I despise you. I despise you right now. Maybe it's just me being pissed off, because I'm already pissed off to begin with, and then watching your video just pissed me off even more. But I hate you now. Maybe I shouldn't say hate. But I really dislike you right now, because how do you compare the general manager role to the fucking world title? Just because you're the general manager does not mean you are the fucking world champion. It just means you're a top character, but you're not the top star of the fucking show. You're just the top character. You have a main role as far as a character goes. You don't have a main role as far as being a superstar. Two different things. Two different things. And yet you're comparing them. You're so fucking stupid.
So, with that, I'm gonna leave you. If you want to respond back, respond back. Anyways, this is the Rest Dragon. I got 2 words for you. Goodbye. Peace.
I'm probably gonna regret making or uploading this video because it does talk trash on you. I get like that when I see stupidity. I'm sorry. Now, I've said throughout the video, you may be a nice guy. You may be the nicest guy ever. Alright, I may have talked to you before, I may have not. But, just because you're nice, doesn't mean you ain't stupid. And you're very stupid. I am sorry. Most of your points are just brittle. Your points make no sense. And you compare 2 different things. You're comparing apples and battery acid. Things that you just cannot compare. I mean, give me a fucking break. If you're going to compare if you're going to compare 2 completely different things, then how am I supposed to take you seriously? Your first video, I couldn't judge you. And some of your points, while they were flawed, at least I can understand somewhat of where you were coming from. Here, I can't. I just can't. Because some of the things that you just said just does not make any sense, or it does not add up. Because most of the things that you're saying is based on unjustified assumptions. Whereas my assumptions as far as the steroid use on Kennedy, the injury bug on him, all of that, those are justified. Those are justified just by reading what has been documented. Alright? You really don't know what you're talking about. With that, this is my last video. I'm not accepting your second video as a response. I accepted your first one because you were mature and you felt that you had a disagreement. But then when you rebutted back with this piece of shit of a video, where you didn't even know half of the things that you were talking about, no, I'm not accepting that, nor am I accepting your third response, nor am I going to even respond to it. So in my opinion, you shouldn't even waste your time. And if you're going to continue to try and debunk me, let's do this via comments so that I don't have to keep making 30-minute videos about it. Alright? Because your points are just brittle. Your points are brittle. They are very... Oh, man, they're so weak, it's not even funny. This is Monoxide signing off. And I may say sorry after this, but I highly doubt it. See you later.